I have not forgotten my YouTube channel. That's a promise. There's been a lot happening in my life. As you can see, I'm renovating. These walls were, if you can see, I'll just show. So I don't want to show too much of the house right now. Just you can see that the house itself is quite full of rips and cracks, and there was big gaps in the wall, in the floor, and it was cold, and like over here, there was a big gap in the floor, about 3 millimeters wide. So all this cold there. So I've been building this wall up, and there was big cracks up there. You can see cracks over here, and this had massive big crack, like really wide, like really wide. The house is basically it was at that point where if it didn't get fixed within the next couple of years, it would probably have become a demolishable, something unfixable. So yeah, my soon to be husband, but my partner and I are fixing this particular property. We're doing it on a very tiny budget, so it's all taking a lot longer than it could. I'm not saying should, because we're so grateful to have a home, everybody. We are so grateful to have a home. So what I will share in the future is about home and having faith in home, because there's a lot of people who are homeless, and my partner and I were predominantly homeless for a very long time. Okay. We both had access to places that we could have showers in, go to the toilet in, sleep in, but they weren't our homes. I've been homeless for 3 and a bit years, or I've lost track of time. And my partner's been homeless for about 2 and a bit years. But he still owns a property with someone, right? But he's just decided not even to bother with that crap. And I sort of, as some of you know, could have wanted to create a place I was living in that I knew could become the most amazing home of my life. I knew that the potential was there to make that real. But there was a process involved in making it real that I couldn't get my brain around. And many of us have been in that position, peoples. So that became a potential, that was a property that could have been my forever home, that I loved with my heart and soul, that I have that's no longer. It's just a memory that I have to do a lot of healing on. When I think of my garden, and I pray my plants are okay, and because I spent 3+ years working on, or two, I can't lost track of time. Sorry. Well, I really put a lot of effort into the garden, and because I thought I'm going to be a custodian of the land. And when you toil the soil, and you make the soil healthy, and you get the plants healthy, and you put plants in the ground, you're looking after the bees and the birds, that's God's work, right? So then I thought, okay, I'll utilize this time while I'm in this particular property to work on the land, and thus I felt connected to that particular property, and it was very difficult to leave the garden and to not know whether the garden's okay or not. Now, where I am now, I haven't even started on the garden, because first place is got to get a functional kitchen, a functional admin office area, but we do have a functional area to have showers and bathing, and it's workable. Okay, guys, it's workable. Okay, there's a lot of people in Australia that would call it some pretty bad names. There's so many people that have no access to water, and they're on earthen ground. They're just on the ground, and they're just in tin. They're just lucky to have tin, and the conditions that so many people live in are atrocious. So I will never in a second begrudge what I have access to, because it's a particular property that even when it's really, really freezing cold, when it's raining, I'm protected and safe. And so is my beautiful partner, my beautiful to be husband. And so are my three animals. My partners and my three animals. So, you know, gratitude and being grateful for what God gives us, what God gives us. Would I have chosen this to be my home? No. However, the gratitude I feel, and I've been working really hard on this particular house. Like, what you can see now is not far off me being able to actually paint it, but these walls were just falling apart, like completely and utterly in every way. So I'll just show you some of the steps. So all of the walls, there's cracks like that everywhere, okay? Everywhere. The whole house was full of cracks like that, but I've been fixing them up, all right? I have been fixing up cracks in the walls, and all the cornices were out. There was gaps between the cornices and the walls. There was gaps between the skirting boards and the floors, and it was very cold, because the wind was coming through. Over here in this corner here, the wind was coming through like next level. It was like being in front of a freezing cold air conditioner. So there you go, guys. So that's what I've been working on, and I've been learning a lot about different products, and learning a lot. Okay, it has been on this, and I will share with you something. I'm just going to make sure, because I've got stuff everywhere, okay, and it's a privacy issue because I know this is a public channel. My darling Jesus here. We have darling Jesus in our kitchen, okay? And our kitchen, really, it's very, very, very difficult to cook in and work in to a degree, but we're getting there. And it won't be long before we have one of the most awesome, wonderful, practical, workable kitchens you could ever imagine, ever. Custom built. And then in this room here is what's going to be my study. What's going to be my study, okay? And then once my admin creativity study area, and boom, that's when I'll start being way more professional with this YouTube channel. That's when I'm going to recommence my study program. So watch this space, people. Thanks for your patience. And sorry that I haven't been coming to you every Monday. I don't even know what made me reach out today. I thought, come on, is it Tuesday? I thought, come on. I don't want to lose you. I'm really grateful for you all. I just wanted to reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm doing with my time, as well as I volunteer at a few different organisations, and I'm doing a fair bit of volunteer work in the community, and personally, I think volunteer work is a really, really good way to, when you've had some mental health issues going on. I think volunteer work, I'm highly, highly, highly trained, okay? Highly skilled and highly trained, but I have had a very excruciating, anguishing, extremely traumatic, very, life. It's just been an extremely challenging few years. And I've been having a rebirth period, as this YouTube channel shows, and I do not wish to, and the advice I've been given is do not do so, go into a paid position. I was working the last few years. I have been working. I've been working as a gardener and a labourer, and that was fine to a degree, but I did a lot of damage to my body. And got to work out the right job. for where I'm at in my life, and what is it I really wished, well, what is it that I'm really supposed to be giving to this, to society. And I will be very honest with you, when Facebook gave me professional dashboard status, I was like, wow, really? That's a sign. Like, that's pretty powerful. Sorry, that's a pretty powerful sign. So I thought, okay. So I've been given the status of being able to turn I'm called a creator, so a social creator. So I'm now been given the status of being able to use social media as a way to actually create income. So I thought, okay, that's fantastic, because that ties in with my qualifications, my passions. Thus, my little cute little admin area that's getting worked on, my study area, my creative area. Woohoo! But first things first, kitchen. And then I had a heap of ladies in my Bible study group say, Nadina, we want you to get out in the garden, because I know how much I love gardening, and they know how sad I am about the beautiful garden I left behind. I have no idea if it's okay or not. And the other all the beautiful gardens I've created in my life that you just leave them, and you just trust that someone's looking after them, your little babies. A lot of my babies now would be like 10 years old and probably really strong and woo, or a bit older. So point of story is, the ladies have been saying, Nadina, we'd love to see you out there gardening. I said, no, that's my passion, that's my joy, that's my love. I cannot get out there and do that. That's a luxury, and I cannot get out there and do that until I have a functional kitchen and a functional admin area. I have to get a functional kitchen and a functional admin area, because those two areas include healthy eating, which is health. And, you can put your whiteboard up, so you can put your programs up, and you can create a structure with your beautiful partner. You've got to have an area of creation that's for the two, because my partner he does outside stuff. He's a car guy, so he does outside stuff. And my admin creative area is going to be full. Yes, I'm in Australia. I'm definitely in Australia. I'm northern Avon wheat belt. The Avon wheat belt, love. Full Australian honour, but I'm Italian, German, Irish. But no, the Australian accent is definitely because I'm Australian. I'm definitely in Australia, and for us it's winter right now. Sorry, not that we should complain, because nothing like that people in other countries have to go through. Anyways, point of the story is, my darling ones, whatever the purpose of this YouTube channel is today, is I know I've got to keep it active. I know I've got to keep it alive. I knew Monday went past. I knew I didn't do anything Monday. I try not to let it stress me out. I try not to let it be an extra burden on me. The ladies are begging me to get into the garden, to do something that I love. I'm going, no, I must create. Not a farmer, Avon wheat belt. There's so many farmers here. I'm a gardener, yes. But I know people who are true blue farmers and have amazing amounts of land, and they work the land hard. They get up at 4:30 in the morning, all right? They get up at 4:30 in the morning and they work the land, and that's just, I tell you what, the Avon wheat belt is one of the most special, most amazing places in the world. Like northern, where I live, northern Avon wheat belt is one of the most beautiful, special places in the world. This area is spectacular. The land's spectacular. The people are spectacular. The ethos, the authenticity, the care, oh wow, and it's harsh. Nothing like what some countries are like, but very harsh. The conditions are pretty harsh, and a lot of people can't handle the conditions here, and they have to leave very quickly because they can't handle the conditions. But nothing like what other countries go through. Yep, we get cold winters and really hot summers, but nothing like further inland, nothing like other countries. Anyways, the river's flowing, which is just the Avon River's flowing, which I just absolutely adore, and then it dries out completely in summer. But the point of the story, peoples, is that what you see here, I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning how to do cornices. I'm learning how to fix up cornices. Like over here, there was big rips, there's big gaps, massive big chasms in the walls. All right, the walls were falling apart. So I've been fixing the walls up, fixing the cornices up. It's been a big process of what to learn, how to learn, and I'm really grateful because it's from a lot of experience from other. I've had a lot of renovating jobs. I've been paid to renovate people's houses, paid to fix people's houses, but before that, and I've fixed a lot of my own houses. I've fixed so many houses in my life, but before that, I grew up in an environment where we did a lot of experimentation. Beautiful background in that regard. And I guess this is where I'll do my plug. Why not? Why not? In all my life, there's a couple of products that I think are just next level amazing. And this one here is the bomb. And I'm going to contact this company and promote them. Agnew Multi-Purpose Filler. It's Australian made. It's made from corn, and it's actually non-toxic. Works with every substrate. It's so easy to work with. It dries really hard. That's what this is. This is the Agnew. All right. I'm also, it's all covered up because I've covered it up with this product called Multi-Fill. But this product here, it's strong. It's strong. It's in between plaster and cement. I don't really want to show you the house because, in all honesty, I've got stuff everywhere. And this is a public show. But see here, I'm fixing this up. There's a big hole here. All right. That was just a big hole. And the Agnew actually not just makes it strong, because that's actually a middle part of the house. And I've actually been made it strong, peoples. Strong. Not just fixing this house up, it's going to live for another 100 years. It wasn't far off from being a demolishable hovel, okay, that very few people would ever want to come into. And here I am, turned into something that it's going to be beautiful. 2 or 3 years, it's going to take a while. Energy, time, money, but this property will now live for another 100+ years because of the work that I've been doing to it. And of course, the garden. When I eventually go into the garden, which will probably be about 6 months to maybe a year away, which is like, I will be transforming the garden with something spectacular, because I always do. I always make amazing gardens. It's just one of my gifts, and it's my way of really honouring God. It's my way of honouring God is to work the soil, to put plants in the ground. And so every particular place I've lost that I thought was going to be home, I go, okay, I've lost it, but I've created a home for the plants. Oh, sorry, for the animals, for the birds, the bees, and the other little insects, and the just the ground soil, the microfacial and microbes. Sorry, I've lost my scientific terminology, and that's an honor, peoples. That's a real honor. So, yeah, okay. So I won't feel guilty now that I didn't do my YouTube yesterday. So I guess the bottom line for today's YouTube peoples is, when you build shelter, when you build home, even if it looks like a hovel, if you're waterproof, if you're not getting rained on when it's raining, and if you've got access to drinking water, if you can be dry when it's raining, and you can snuggle up a little bit when it's really cold, and you've got access to water that's drinkable, better yet, you got access to water where you can get clean and have a shower. And then if you've got access to something you can cook your food on, One step further. If you can fall asleep at night and you just know that you're that bit safe, that you won't get attacked throughout the night, you know that you're in a safe position, that you won't be attacked. You're actually safe whilst you sleep. You're safe whilst you shower. You've got access to drinking water. I'd love a bath, by the way, so that will happen eventually. I need the bath for my body. Anyways, the access to drinking water, being able to cook, being able to sleep at night safely, being able to get out of the wild, woolly, wintry, cold weather. Such a blessing. So we'll leave it at that, my darlings. That's my dog's barking, so I think my darling, my beloved's about to turn up home. He's doing some training at the moment. It's just a really beautiful period. So I'm in the process of making home. He's in the process of progressing his training, and I'm already really trained. And there'll come a time when I get back in the workforce. However, in saying that, back to the volunteer work, guys. What an honour to do volunteer work. It is such you've been of service. It's a very different ethos, a very different energy to getting paid for your time. Very different ethos. Very, very different ethos. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Doesn't matter if we're not working for money for the moment, if we're working on, we're in a process of rebuilding home, rebuilding ourselves. If you're rebuilding yourself, which many of us have to go through this process because of trauma, and many of us have horrible experiences in our lives that we have to heal from, and a lot of these processes do take time, sometimes a few years, peoples. And during that time, we should not be in a position of being in a paid working position where we're in a responsible position. We need to be in a position where we can relax when we need to, focus on ourselves and our healing in God's grace. And that's what I love about volunteer work. So you're there, you've been of service, and not that we do, but you can say, sorry, I truly am unable to make it today. And because there's no contract, because there's lots of different volunteers working in that area, it's more flexible. There's flexibility there. And guess what? You can still be completely committed. You can be completely committed to what you're doing and have flexibility. Beautiful, beautiful dichotomy there, isn't there? God bless. I would like to say I'd like to see you next Monday. I really would, definitely. You're in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, USA. You ask me what my live streams are about. Oh, man. About surviving, darling one. About surviving, like mental health, because our system is very corrupt and broken. I'm 55 and I've been trying to get help since I was 20. In fact, I think I've been trying to get help since I was 15. 15. Yep. Issue is I'm cognitive, highly intellectual, non-drug addicted. Don't fit any of the categories, so they can't tick any boxes. So they can't go, oh, you fit in this box, this, but you have to be like all these certain categories. One of them is an Indigenous. You have to have an alcohol or drug substance issue. You've got to be in a domestically violent relationship. And it's really funny because recently I just came out of a very, very dysfunctional, very unhealthy, very unloving, highly toxic, very narcissistic dynamic, which why did I go there? Because I was still a traumatized person who was so desperate to be of service to others. I was a major people pleaser. I always wanted to make others heal. And I kept seeing the benefit of being there for others. And I saw safety in this particular person, that when I helped this person grow, I was like, yay, woo! But then if I wasn't putting all this effort into this person growing, they would crash and fall and then go into horrendous patterns, mainly withdrawal. Yeah, singer-songwriter in Nashville. Well, I'm also a singer-songwriter. And I used to write a lot of songs and I used to sing a lot. I used to sing a lot. This is one of the reasons why I was attracted to this person I chose to marry that I'm now divorced from was because he is also a potential singer. And I was like, yay. And I was like, I was really prepared to encourage the singing in both of us so we could go down that track of music. And it was one of my payoffs because I was basically 99% doing everything. And he knew that was the situation. But my payoff was we're going to do music together. And that to me felt exciting. Okay, I thought I can do this. I can be this person's carer, da da la la, because we're going to do music together. Yeehaw! And I actually really innocently thought that that was actually the basis of a healthy marriage. Yeah, guitar for me, darling one, but I haven't done it for a while. And I did do piano for a long time too. Can't wait to get back into it. Yeah, piano and guitar for me. I played both and I love it. And singing. Singing. We can do singing. But the thing, and just before I get off track, Emery Randall, I just want to share with you that the purpose of, who was it? Yeah. The purpose of this live stream is that I was extraordinarily unalive. Like I was very almost unaliving myself on a second by second basis. And I was trying to get help and support through the systems like Wheat Belt Mental Health System, Royal St. John of God's Hospital. Like they even had me, St. John of God's Hospital had me in there as a patient, drugging me out non-stop and couldn't get rid of me quick enough when they realised that people were running to me when their drugs were running off to talk to me because I was so desperate to talk to someone that could actually help heal them. And then they thought, we've got to get rid of her. We've got to get rid of her because she's all about true blue healing. And that's when and the nastiness of the people, they made me sign discharge papers when I was having a nervous breakdown and I had no one to pick me up. I had nowhere to go. I wasn't safe, but they didn't care. They just had to get me out really quick. But I should have been there for probably weeks. I was there 3 days, but I didn't get any help. And that's I'm glad. And I've had other experiences happen since. Not long after that, I had a psychiatrist do a involuntary shut me out because when I was talking about my previous experiences of suicidality, he couldn't sign a paper quick enough to get me locked up. I said, oh my God, that's previous. We're talking about the history. We're not talking about now. But he couldn't handle me talking about sexual abuse. He couldn't handle hearing those. This is a psychiatrist, for goodness sakes. And I got offered a free session with this psychiatrist because he was almost trained. He wasn't quite there yet. So he's going to charge $180 or $300 an hour, right? But right at that point, I got him for free because he was still a student. Useless, horrible, yucky, disgusting man. Very traumatized. Sorry, he has a lot of trauma that he hasn't healed. He, as a man, is probably lovely, but he has a lot of trauma he hasn't healed. And what I've come to realize is this is really prominent in our society. And I have a beloved partner in my life who not far off from marrying, and he has a 30-year-old disabled autistic daughter that the government has actually taken away from him and I because they realise I'm skilled and talented and qualified, and I was actually helping him empower her to actually be a really up there, shine, like a part of society, man. And then as a result, they quickly tried to get her away from us to the point where he can't even talk to her. We don't know where she is. We don't have anything to do with her. We don't even know where she is. He's no contact, nothing. Right? We were living with her. We were looking after her. She was our responsibility. And then she got ripped away, kidnapped by the government because she's worth a lot of money via NDIS, right? A lot of money through them. She's worth $600,000 a year. She's just a commodity. So I've had all these experiences, thousands of experiences. Okay, I've just given you 2 examples. Now you want to talk about corruption? The mental health system is absolutely beyond broken and so corrupted. And if you wish to get support and help, you can't get it. The only way they will give you help is if you say yes to the pharmaceutical drugs they want to shove down your throat, or yes to electric shock treatment, or yes to lobotomies. And yes, when I was at Royal Perth Hospital, they were actually doing lobotomies on 30-year-olds, like taking their brains out, frontal lobal. So Why is this channel started? Because I was like, oh my God, I was desperate for help, man. And I was going to all the places looking for help. What are you saying? I can say whatever I like about that because I've actually declared on my YouTube channel that it's not for children, okay? So, Zor Salary, silence, trying to silence me on my YouTube channel. I've declared that this is not for children, okay? So, if a little child chooses to listen to this, that's the parent's choice. And I tell you what, we should not be silencing this topic of suicidality and sexual abuse. Ever. That's the main problem of our society. People silencing sexual abuse and the trauma that comes from sexual abuse. And then when you wish to actually heal it, you can't get the help. Yes, I'm Australian, but I was born in America. Irish, German, and Italian in DNA. Born in America, growing up in Australia since I was 6. And the guys, I am a survivor of extreme sexual abuse. Like, I am a survivor of extreme sexual abuse. I was used as a child prostitute, all right, drugged and used as a child prostitute. And every time I try to get a little bit of help around the trauma around that, all they want to do is shove drugs in my body. There isn't yet a system in Australia that will actually deal with that. They won't deal with it. So why is this YouTube started? Because there are thousands and millions of people attempting to stay alive. We want to stay alive. We have so much trauma in our bodies that we haven't been able to heal. And when we wish to heal it, when we wish to go to places to get help, we get shut down, we get silenced. That is why things like social media and the power of, when I started this channel, I started because I was attempting to stay alive. And it's developed. It's become something bigger than I could ever imagine it would be. Like, I'm not kidding you. I did not imagine, thanks. I did not imagine ever having a YouTube channel. I can tell you that right now. I did not ever imagine, thank you. I didn't imagine doing this. And I know people like Joe Rogan, probably, like, he's much bigger because he was a boxer. There are so many people in this world who become spokespeople, who become, Charlie Kirk, as you all know, who just got assassinated, like, he got out there and he's doing big stuff and he got assassinated. Well, they've been trying to assassinate me through things like getting rid of my ABN, cutting me off from Centrelink, shutting down my bank account, constantly cutting off Centrelink, denying me access to certain services. I've had my Medicare. That's kind of the saddest thing I've ever had. I can tell you right now, I have had the government try to silence me for a really long time. They've kept shutting down my ABN. They've actually shut down my Medicare card number. I keep getting shut. My Centrelink, they'll just shut it for no reason. I've had my bank account shut. I've had heaps of things happen. And I'm going, how on earth is that possible when I'm such small fry? Why am I such a threat? That's interesting. And that's when I started realizing the power of this YouTube channel, everyone, is to tell you all, everyone's voice matters, okay? Everyone's voice matters. And someone as small as me, the impact that I am having on this planet is so big that the government is trying to silence me. Me, tiny little me, the government, and we're talking about Medicare, Centacare, Banks West. We're talking about all sorts of different so many different industries and corporations who are trying to silence myself. And you have to think, what on earth is so threatening about my voice? What's so threatening about it? It's because I'm still alive when the system wants people like me not alive. So we'll leave it at that. 3, 4, 5, 7. Oh my God. And I wasn't even going to do a YouTube today, but that's it, darling one. Your voice is so important. Get out there, speak your truth. You will the healing that you will do for others. I have yeah. I have people coming up to me on such a regular basis, and I always have wanting support, wanting, in the past, I was like, being an unconsensual, unpaid counselor, I've always been a people pleaser and an enabler and this and that, rah, rah. And as I've gotten older, because I'm 55 now, I've learned, hey, I didn't give you consent to this conversation. I didn't actually agree to have this conversation with you right now. I did not agree to have this conversation with you right now. Hang on a minute. Where is your respect for my boundaries? Hang on a minute. I'm not ready to hear this conversation right now. Hey, let's create a time frame for when rah, rah, rah. So I'm learning self-respect. I'm learning boundaries. I'm 55 years old. And what I'm learning now, gee, I wish people could learn at 14. And it's really okay to say to someone, hey, sorry, right now I'm feeling, this is what I'm observing, this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I need, and this is a suggestion that I have. That's a really awesome skill set to teach people, right? And then we create effective, honest, authentic, healthy communication. And that is the bottom line of mental health and trauma recovery. Let's leave it at that. All right. Well, I must say it's all right. Don't worry. I'm in mental hospital sadly because I tried to do for justice for something that the world is middle cry. Listen, Taku, seriously, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And all I want to say is that all of us who are being persecuted, and the word is persecuted, every single person who is being persecuted right now, I firmly believe is someone who's doing God's work. Man, 19-year-olds and in the mental hospital. Oh, Taku, sorry. When I was in the mental health hospital, I was only there for 3 days. I saw so many young people there, and they're 19 to 21, and the bloody stupid hospital was giving them lobotomies and electric shock treatment, and I just want to say, anyone and everyone who's truly authentic and truly expressing the truth, we will be persecuted. And by truth, I mean kind and humble and not coming from a place of arrogance, but come from a place of service and coming from a place of really desiring life to be exquisite for everyone, including the plants and the animals. There is a lot of persecution out there, peoples, and I do believe, and I keep hearing on Vision Christian Radio, that we are in the time of Armageddon. So things are going to escalate. Persecution will increase. And if you do speak the godly truth, just be mindful that the attacks could increase. Just also be very, very mindful that 100% protected. Okay? In God's glorious grace, we are completely protected and completely safe and completely loved. Wow, peoples. God bless. I'll hopefully see you next Monday. If not, the Monday after, but Monday. Bye.
Hello.
Hang on.
What's up?
Just finishing my YouTube channel. Oh my God.